So this bag is exactly the reason why you as a reseller need to keep really tight relationships with the women or the men in the charity shops. Because I got a text message saying that this had just came in and would I like to have a look at it before it went out on the shelf. And I was like, yes please. Boom! Oops, I did it again to your heart. And welcome back to Flies Round Sugar Resell, everybody. For those that don't know, my name is Nath and I'm a full-time menswear reseller. I get my stock usually from charity shops, jumble sales, car boot sales and occasionally wholesalers. And today we've been on a sourcing trip. Today's Friday, so generally I don't really go sourcing, but I got a message of one of my little contacts in the charity shop saying, we've had some menswear in, do you want to come down and have a look at it? And I was like, yeah, no bother, thanks very much, see you soon. And I am glad that I did, because we've got some right nice pieces in this bag here, which we'll show you just now. So we might speed run some of this just because some of it's bread and butter, which you know is really important as a reseller because it keeps them pennies rolling in. Some choice bits in it though, but let's get to it. So after yesterday's sourcing and picking up some WWE shirts, which were a bit more contemporary than this one, I picked this one up today. Same price, different shop. It was £3.50 and it is MVP, right? I don't know who that is. It's an XL and it's on the official WWE, WWF tag, whatever you want to call it, and it's dated 2007, so nearly vintage. We'll call it retro for the time being, but that's an MVP shirt. There's one sold on eBay for 35 quid of that, so quite happy to pick that up for £3.50. We'll probably list all the wrestling shirts at the same time. Hopefully they'll go to the same buyer. Got another pair of Carhartt Sid pants. I've sold these before in the past and they usually sell for between like 20 and 25, pushing 30 sometimes, but they were only £2.50. They're quite a small size in a 30-32, but I'm not concerned about them, and they're not the best colourway. So that is a blue. The best ones to get, what I find sells the quickest, are the green ones. But yeah, for £2.50 for a pair of Carhartts, can't complain. Unbelievably, not the cheapest Carhartts I've picked up. Love me a bit of Berghaus. This is a fully zip, tactical style fleece, pockets, hood, really nice quality, really lovely colour. Should get for about 20-25 on that. It's relatively modern, it's not a vintage one, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I always pick up Berghaus when I can if I get it cheap enough. And this, actually this weren't massively cheap. This is more than I usually pay for Berghaus stuff. That was £5.99. But yeah, should get about 20-25, maybe a little bit more on that. Not bad. Whew. These are nice, man. These are really, really nice. So these had two prices on them in the charity shop. They had a price saying £5.99 there, but then on the flip side of the token, they've got another tag on that said £2.99. So I said to the guy, I was like, well, how much are they? And he went, well, they're £5.99. I was like, oh, because it is £2.99. And he went, you can just have them for £2.99 if that's the case. But they are a pair of Brooks Brothers chinos with lovely turn-ups on the bottom there. I think they're amazing. They're a size 36, so a really good size. Really smart trousers. They look absolutely incredible once they've been pressed, steamed, and then displayed on my board. I sell the shirts all the time. The shirts usually go for about like 20 upwards, really, depending on which one you've got. So it's the first pair of chinos that I've had, like Brooks Brothers chinos, but we'll see what we get for them. Right, so this is a brand that you need to keep an eye out on. Granted, you're not going to see it very often in charity shops. It's a relatively new skatewear brand called Yard Sale. And these are a pair of their skate pants with frayed edges down the bottom, so dead cool. They're a good size medium for that crowd. I've sold Yard Sale jeans in the past and they go upwards of 40. The ones I've sold in the past though usually have like a big Y and S embroidered here on the back pocket. It looks a little bit like a dollar sign. But yeah, they're really good, and they were only £2.75. £2.75. I'd aim for, yeah, probably like 30 and 40 on them, given the cut of them. So not a bad return. Quite excited to see those in the charity shop. this is just your bog standard Ralph Lauren jumper, beautiful baby blue colour, size medium, and that was just £2.50. That does pass all the legit checks. Sold plenty of these in the past, usually like sort of 20 quid upwards. That needs a wash actually, looking at it in the light. That'll come on with me for an oxy and a wash, oxy bath and a wash. Fred Perry, I generally don't pick up modern Fred Perry, even though I've got another piece in here. But this was just too nice to leave on the rack. It is just the bog standard polo with the gold trim. Lovely gold crest here. Again, that was £2.50. I got a bunch from the same shop where everything's just £2.50 or £1. And yeah, that was just too nice to leave on the shelf. That needs an oxy as well, so that'll be coming home with me for a wash. Should get between 15 and 20 for that. I wasn't entirely sure about this, right, because Nautica is absolutely flooded the market at the minute, and it's thanks to places like Fleek selling Nautica boxes and whatever. But look at this. That's a beautiful roll neck. I think that's what it's called anyway. Can't remember the proper name for it. Cardigan in a bright white, and miraculously that does not need a wash, but that is Nautica. Really heavy, really thick, really nice wool. That's a medium, and again that was from the same shop, so that was £2.50. I'd probably expect, given the market, about, I think the style will sell that over the brand. I'm not a massive fan of the neck, to be honest with you, but I reckon about 20 quid on that quite easily. Oh right, so this is just bog standard Uniqlo boxy tee in size XL. That needs a wash. 2XL, sorry. That was only 2 quid. Sell them all day for between 10 and 15. Quick sale on Vinted. Right, spray wear trousers. Love picking up a bit of spray wear. These are just the waterproof outdoor trousers. They were only 4 quid, and you should sell them for about £19.99. They might sit a little bit because there's a few of them on eBay. But yeah, about £19.99 on them. So these next two pieces, handmade, right? They were in one of the charity shops that's closing down at the moment, so everything's half price. But look at that knit. Look at that. It's handmade. Lovely woolen cardigan, lovely woolen jumper. Really thick. Really nice material. A lot of love went into that for some grandson or something like that, I imagine, and he's just banged it in the charity shop. That was, so they had £3.50 on that, but because it's closing down, it was half price. So I picked up that one. So I thought it was dead nice. And this one, you get your peepers around this, man. Get your laughing gear around this. Look at that. That is proper class. That, again, handmade. That's like a Fair Isle style V-neck sweater vest. I love that, mate. That's absolutely amazing. Handmade. They had 5 on that, so remember it was closing down, so I got that for £2.50. Paying £2.50 for that all day, man. That is dead nice. I'll look at sold. I will put comparisons up on screen for you. But I reckon like upwards of 30 for that. That's sick. If that was like slightly smaller, I'd probably end up keeping that. This piqued my interest, right? So this is a vintage, true vintage, 1992 Daytona Beach Bike Week. Look at that. Just hanging out in the charity shop on your jersey's tag as well, which is kind of what you want to see. And that was £3.80. It's all branded. It's got the dating down here, 1992. That'll be like official merchandise from the actual bike week. I'm going to try and find the exact one in the comps, right? Because I might be able to, but easily upwards of 25 for that. Easy. Minimum 25 on that, let's say. It's a really cool design, really strong graphic on the front with that eagle and like the American flag colours. Just that's popping, that is. That's lovely. Yeah, upwards of 25 for that, I reckon. So these were £1, right? And these are just a pair of Uniqlo kind of smart chinos. They feel unworn. And then I checked the pocket and I noticed that they still had all the buttons and that attached. I mean, that doesn't necessarily say that they've never been worn, but you know when something's just got a feel to it and you're like, that does not feel worn at all. That's how those feel. I will obviously sell them as used and stuff like that because I've not got the tags, but for £1, just bang them on me Vinted for a tenner, easy. These, however, are new with tags. So these are a pair of Zara Basics chinos in grey, new with tags. These were £4, £4. They're size 36. Kind of complain with that. I'll probably get about 15 quid for them easy. I might stick them on my eBay for a little bit more and just let them sit for a bit until they sell. Usually the Zara Origins are the ones to look out for, but I thought for £4, who might say no. Another little bit of vintage, well, nearly vintage. This is a 2008 Joe Satriani t-shirt. You know, surfing with the aliens vibe, guitar maestro. Yeah, lovely t-shirt. That was only £1. I thought there's got to be some money in that somewhere. Even if I just sell that for a quick 15 to 20. Date on the back. Nice bit of kit. This possibly is one of my favourite finds of the day. Look at this. It is a sea salt Como teal corduroy tunic shirt. I think that's amazing. I think that's well nice. Really good quality as per his usual standards with sea salt Como. There's all your tags. Sea salt Como. And it was £4.50. Kind of complain with that. That's gorgeous. Maybe get like 20 to 25 on that, just because it's so nice. Love it. Okie dokie. Right, so we are about to get to the find of the day. You know what? It's not even a find of the day. They texted me. This is why it's really important to keep in contact or have a good relationship with the people from the charity shop, because they will let you know when they've got good stuff in. If you've made it this far and you like what you've seen so far, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notifications, because we will be updating the channel fairly regular and we'd hate for you to miss out. Right, let's get to it. So, they texted me this morning being like, we've got some interesting stuff in. Do you want to come down and have a look at it before it goes out? And I was like, yeah, of course. Wasn't really expecting this stuff, to be honest with you. So this is a long-sleeved Stone Island polo. Now, it was priced up, right? But I got a little bit of money off because I took the lot. Not much money, but I think I did all right. I'll tell you at the end. So this is a long sleeve polo. Now, that did have a price on of 15 quid. I more than likely would have paid the 15 quid for it, to be honest with you. I'll put comparables up on screen at how much I expect to get for them. But, yeah, I would have paid the 15 quid all day for that, I think. That's gorgeous. And you know what as well? You can tell that they're all from the same donation because they all stink of the same aftershave, right? So that's one. That's the long sleeve polo. This is a black short sleeve polo, just a polo shirt. That does need to go on for an oxy, because that's got a little mark on that. That was £12. That is dead nice. They sell really well as well, really quick. Just dead surprising to see them in the charity shop. I think, right, some man that's had a falling out with his missus or his partner, and they've donated all their clobber in a tantrum or in a fit or something like that. But his loss is my gain. Next, we've got the first of two. This is a Stone Island jumper in navy. Now they did have this on, sorry, as 15 quid. Really good value. They sell for like upwards of 60. There's quite a few of them on the market now, so they don't command what they used to, but upwards of 60, 70, 80, roundabout. And this is the Stone Island with the patch on. Get the badge in. That's probably the better one out of the two, just because it's got that extra detailing on. They did want £20 for that. These are really good sizes, all size large. So I'm going to be quick to add that all of this stuff passes on the Certi logo ad. I'm going to add a quick video of what it looks like on the Certi logo ad, just because a lot of the fakes, when you scan them, when you scan the logo, will take you to the web page of the brand, and that's not correct. That's not how they look. It's supposed to take you to like a congratulations page. This, however, might be dodgy, although it smells like the same aftershave, so I'm thinking it's probably from the same donation. It is a Supreme spell out jumper. The only reason why I think this is a bit dodge, I need to look into this more, is because it's had the tags cut, which is never a good sign. Like, why would you cut the tags? So that needs a little bit more, research before I consider listing that for sale. My gut instinct is saying it's legit, but time will tell with that. But that's dead nice. Right, let's get to the start of the show. This is getting kept. I'm keeping this. This is a garment dyed overshirt. That is stunning. That is so nice. That's definitely my favourite piece of the day. I've got a few Stone Island bits myself, and I've always wanted an overshirt. Because I've not got one, but that is like just a little bit of me. That's absolutely stunning. That would fetch about between 125 and 145. They did have this priced up at 20 quid, but that's getting kept. That's not going anywhere. I say that now, but yeah, that's so nice. And again, it passes the legit check. It's got all the right tags. It just, you know what, as well, when you feel, so I come across a lot of like Mickey Mouse stuff in Manchester, because we had that very new road here, which was like the UK hub of counterfeit material. And there's always fake Stone Islands in charity shop, but that just feels different. That just feels legit. You know, you can just tell the stitching, the look of it. Yeah, so that's getting kept anyway. But that was 20 quid. Or they had 20 quid on that. But it's getting kept, so that's not for sale. So, brass tacks. How much should I pay? So for that bag alone, for those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for those 6 items, I got them for 60 quid. By the way, on that Supreme jumper, they had a sticker on of 7 quid. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to take it. If it is real, I've let it go for 7 quid. So I took the risk. Remember, keep a good relationship with the people in the charity shops, because they in turn will look after you. Boom! 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 Come on.